13 Shocking Truths About Europe's Most Extraordinary Country. From a city where smiling is literally the law to women so captivating they've inspired wars, Italy defies every expectation. Italy isn't just another European country. By the end of this video, you'll either be completely obsessed with Italy or you'll understand why some people call it Europe's most beautiful nightmare. Either way, you'll never look at this boot-shaped peninsula the same way again. If you think you understand coffee, then when you come to Italy, your thinking will change. Order a cappuccino after 11 a.m. and watch your barista soul freeze. Order a takeaway and prepare for some truly confused looks. Italians go to their local bar, stand at the counter and sip espresso in just 2 or 3 sips. No laptops, no lingering, no Instagram photos. Just pure, rich coffee. The espresso served in Italian bars is nothing like the bland espresso served elsewhere. It comes in small, thick, rich porcelain cups with a golden crema on top. The flavors flow like a perfectly orchestrated symphony, bitter and sweet in perfect harmony. Even the espresso at an Italian gas station is superior to most specialty coffee shops in other countries. One of Italy's greatest coffee traditions is caffè sospeso, or hanging coffee. Customers pay for a cup of espresso left at the bar for those who can't afford it. This simple act of kindness, born in Naples during hard times, shows how Italians have integrated generosity into their daily rituals. Italian baristas undergo rigorous training, competing in national championships to represent the country at the World Barista Championship. They study the science of extraction, the art of steaming milk, and the psychology of serving the perfect coffee. Making coffee in Italy is not just a job, but a craft passed down through generations. Italian women possess something that transcends ordinary beauty. It's not just their Mediterranean features, their impeccable style, or their natural elegance. It's an indefinable quality that has inspired poets, artists, and lonely travelers for centuries. Walk through any Italian piazza, and you'll witness something extraordinary. Italian women don't follow fashion trends. They create them with every step. A simple dress becomes haute couture when worn with their signature confidence. Oversized sunglasses transform into works of art. Even buying vegetables at the morning market becomes a runway show. Their beauty philosophy is refreshingly different from other cultures. They don't dress up to impress others, but to honor themselves and celebrate life. Every day is an opportunity to look magnificent, not because they're vain, but because they believe beauty is a responsibility, a gift they share with the world. What makes Italian women irresistible isn't just their appearance, but their spirit. They speak with passion, laugh without reservation, and love with their entire beings. They can engage in heated political debates over dinner, then tenderly kiss their children goodnight moments later. Emotion flows through them like music, natural and unfiltered. For men seeking romantic connections, Italian women are increasingly open to international relationships. They value authenticity, style, and genuine respect over flashy gestures or superficial charm. Many visitors to Italy find themselves extending their trips indefinitely, not for the museums or monuments, but for a love story that began with a chance encounter in a Roman cafe. Modern Italian women are educated, ambitious, and worldly, yet they maintain deep connections to family traditions and cultural values. They expect their partners to appreciate both their independence and their heritage, creating relationships built on mutual respect and shared appreciation for life's finer pleasures. With 58 official sites, it beats China, Germany, and France combined. But here's what makes this even more incredible. You don't just visit Italian heritage, you live inside it. Every day, millions of Italians walk to work through 2,000-year-old Roman streets, grab coffee in Renaissance buildings, and catch buses past ancient amphitheaters. In Rome, construction workers regularly halt projects when they accidentally dig up ancient artifacts, which happens so frequently they've developed special archaeological protocols. The city sits on layers upon layers of history, with some estimates suggesting 90% of ancient Rome still lies buried beneath the modern city. The Colosseum alone welcomed over 6 million visitors last year, generating more tourism revenue than many entire countries. But Rome is just the beginning. Florence contains more Renaissance art per square mile than anywhere else on Earth. Venice literally floats on over 100 small islands, connected by 400 bridges. The Amalfi Coast stretches like a painted masterpiece along impossible cliffs. What's truly mind-blowing is that Italy achieved this historic preservation while remaining a thoroughly modern, industrial powerhouse. They've somehow managed to protect their past without sacrificing their future, creating a living museum where 60 million people go about their daily lives, surrounded by humanity's greatest artistic achievements. Picture this. You're walking through the fashion capital of Milan, minding your own business, when suddenly you're surrounded by police. Your crime? Not smiling. In Milan, maintaining a cheerful expression isn't just polite, it's actually required by law. Fail to smile in public and you could face arrest, with the only exceptions being hospitals and funerals. This bizarre regulation perfectly captures Italy's obsession with beauty and presentation. Everything here must be gorgeous, even your facial expressions. But this law reveals something deeper about Italian culture. They believe so strongly in the power of positive energy and aesthetic perfection that they've made happiness mandatory. The fine for breaking this smile law can reach up to $1,000, making Milan possibly the only place on Earth where your facial expression is a criminal matter. Imagine explaining that arrest to your friends back home. Yet somehow, this rule works. Milan consistently ranks as one of the happiest cities in Europe, though whether that's because of genuine joy or legal obligation remains unclear.
Italian food culture operates by laws more sacred than any government regulation. Violate these culinary commandments and watch Italian grandmothers weep openly. Put cream in carbonara and risk being banished from the peninsula forever. Order a cappuccino with dinner and experience cultural excommunication. Authentic carbonara contains exactly 5 ingredients: eggs, pecorino romano cheese, guanciale, black pepper, and pasta. No cream, no peas, no chicken, no artistic interpretation. Romans have protected this recipe for generations, viewing modern variations as cultural vandalism. The simplicity demands perfect execution, making carbonara a test of culinary respect and technical skill. Regional food pride in Italy borders on religious devotion. Neapolitans consider their pizza napolitana a UNESCO-protected cultural treasure, with specific requirements for dough preparation, oven temperature, and ingredient sourcing. The pizza must be cooked in a wood-fired oven at exactly 905 degrees Fahrenheit, creating a thin crust with charred edges and a soft, airy center. Bologna takes pasta seriously enough to deposit the official tagliatelle al ragù recipe in their Chamber of Commerce archives. This isn't marketing gimmickry, but legal protection against culinary fraud. The authentic bolognese sauce requires specific meat ratios, cooking times, and ingredient proportions that cannot be altered without losing the right to use the name. Italian meal timing follows strict cultural protocols that confuse foreign visitors. Breakfast consists of coffee and a small pastry, consumed quickly while standing. Lunch happens between 1 and 2 p.m. and represents the day's main meal. Dinner occurs after 8 p.m. and focuses on lighter fare. Snacking between meals is considered uncivilized behavior that demonstrates poor upbringing. Wine accompanies most Italian meals, but not for intoxication. Italians view wine as a flavor enhancer that complements food rather than overwhelming it. They sip wine slowly, appreciating how it interacts with each dish. Getting drunk at dinner is considered disrespectful to both the food and fellow diners. Italian cooking philosophy emphasizes ingredient quality over complex preparation. Fresh, seasonal, local ingredients prepared simply showcase natural flavors rather than masking them. This approach requires skill to execute properly, as poor ingredients cannot hide behind elaborate sauces or exotic seasonings.
Italian festivals transform ordinary towns into surreal wonderlands, where reality bends to accommodate pure artistic imagination. These celebrations aren't just parties, but elaborate theatrical productions that blur the lines between performance, tradition, and communal catharsis. The Venice Carnival converts the floating city into a Renaissance fever dream, where masked figures glide through misty canals like ghosts from another century. Elaborate costumes cost thousands of dollars and take months to create, transforming wearers into living artworks. For 2 magical weeks, social hierarchies disappear behind ornate masks, allowing duchesses to chat with street cleaners without anyone knowing the difference. International visitors flock to Venice Carnival specifically for this democratizing anonymity. Behind masks, shy individuals become confident performers, while normally reserved people embrace theatrical personalities. The psychological freedom of costume creates connections impossible in normal social situations. Infiorata festivals across Italy create massive street art using nothing but flower petals arranged in intricate patterns. Entire communities work for weeks preparing designs that will exist for only hours before processions walk over them. Towns like Spello and Genzano di Roma compete to create the most spectacular floral carpets, sometimes depicting religious scenes, historical figures, or contemporary pop culture icons. Siena's Palio horse race transforms the medieval city center into a gladiatorial arena, where neighborhood pride motivates participants more than prize money. The race lasts only 90 seconds, but preparation involves months of strategic alliances, ritual blessings, and political maneuvering between the city's historic districts. Italy's reputation for expense misleads budget-conscious travelers who assume European elegance requires enormous wealth. The reality is dramatically different. Outside major tourist zones, Italy offers remarkable value for money that makes extended stays financially feasible for ordinary incomes. Monthly rent for comfortable apartments in charming Italian cities averages between $400 and $600, depending on location and size. These aren't student hovels but proper homes with character, often featuring original architectural details like exposed wooden beams or marble floors. Living in historic buildings becomes affordable rather than luxurious. Grocery shopping at local markets provides fresh, seasonal ingredients at prices that shame American supermarkets. A week's worth of vegetables, fresh pasta, local cheese, and regional wine costs approximately $35 to $50 for one person. The quality exceeds most restaurant ingredients in other countries. Public transportation throughout Italy operates efficiently and affordably. Monthly transit passes cost $30 to $40 and provide access to buses, trains, and metros that connect virtually every destination. Many Italian cities are highly walkable, reducing transportation needs while providing daily exercise through historic neighborhoods. Dining out remains reasonable when avoiding tourist traps. Authentic trattorias serve complete meals with wine for $12 to $18 per person. These aren't fast food establishments, but family-run restaurants using traditional recipes and local ingredients. The value proposition astounds visitors accustomed to paying premium prices for inferior Italian food in their home countries. Healthcare costs in Italy are minimal for residents and affordable for visitors. Routine medical checkups cost $40 to $50, while dental cleanings average $35. Prescription medications cost fractions of American prices due to government regulation and negotiation. Utilities including electricity, water, heating, and internet total approximately $80 to $100 monthly for average apartments. High-speed internet costs only $30 monthly, providing reliable connectivity throughout most of the country. The total monthly budget for comfortable living in Italy ranges from $900 to $1,800, depending on lifestyle choices and location preferences. This includes housing, food, transportation, entertainment, and personal expenses, while maintaining quality of life that rivals much more expensive destinations. Behind Italy's picture-perfect facade lurks a shadow world that tourists rarely glimpse but locals navigate daily. The country's beauty conceals organized crime networks so sophisticated they make Hollywood movies look like amateur productions. These aren't ancient relics but modern criminal empires that infiltrate politics, business, and everyday life. The 'Ndrangheta, based in southern Italy, controls an estimated 80% of Europe's cocaine trade with annual revenues exceeding $60 billion. This makes them more financially powerful than many legitimate corporations. They operate with business-like efficiency, maintaining international networks that span continents while remaining largely invisible to casual observers. Human trafficking represents another horrifying reality hidden within Italy's romantic image. According to United Nations estimates, up to 80% of women working in street prostitution in major Italian cities are trafficking victims, primarily from Nigeria, Romania, and Ukraine. These women were promised legitimate employment, but instead found themselves trapped in nightmare situations controlled by criminal organizations. The contrast between Italy's tourist attractions and these dark realities creates cognitive dissonance for visitors. You might photograph the Colosseum in the morning and unknowingly pass trafficking victims that same evening. Italian authorities work constantly to combat these problems, but the criminals adapt quickly and maintain sophisticated operations. This criminal presence doesn't mean Italy is dangerous for tourists, but it reveals the complexity beneath the country's beautiful surface. Like all nations, Italy struggles with serious social problems that coexist alongside its cultural treasures and natural beauty. If these facts surprised you, you're beginning to understand Italy's true nature. This country defies categorization, resists simple explanations, and rewards curiosity with endless discoveries. Whether you visit for a week or live there for decades, Italy will continue revealing new layers of complexity that challenge everything you thought you knew about life, love, and what really matters. So what do you think? Has Italy earned a spot on your travel list? Or do these revelations make you want to book a flight tonight? Let me know. The distinctive buzz of a Vespa engine isn't just transportation in Italy, it's the soundtrack of freedom, style, and rebellion. Introduced in 1946 by Piaggio, the Vespa transformed post-war Italian society and became a global symbol of effortless cool that Hollywood still can't replicate. The Vespa's design was revolutionary. Instead of building motorcycles for rough, adventurous men, Piaggio created an elegant scooter that anyone could ride. The enclosed engine protected riders' clothing, the step-through design accommodated dresses and skirts, and the automatic transmission required no special mechanical knowledge. Italian women embraced the Vespa immediately, using it to gain unprecedented mobility and independence. Suddenly, young women could travel across cities for work, visit friends, and explore beyond their neighborhoods without depending on men or public transportation. The Vespa became a symbol of female empowerment wrapped in gorgeous Italian design. In cities like Rome, Naples, and Florence, Vespas solve practical problems that cars cannot. They navigate narrow medieval streets built centuries before automobiles existed. They park in impossible spaces. They zip through traffic that would trap larger vehicles for hours. For many Italians, a Vespa isn't just convenient, it's essential for urban survival. The cultural impact of the Vespa extends far beyond transportation. It influenced fashion, with Italian designers creating specific clothing lines for Vespa riders. It inspired music, appearing in countless songs about youth and adventure. It shaped cinema, featuring prominently in films that defined Italian style and attitude. Modern Vespas maintain their classic design while incorporating contemporary technology. Electric models offer environmentally conscious transportation without sacrificing the iconic Vespa aesthetic. Limited edition collaborations with fashion houses create collector's items that blend transportation with wearable art. Riding a Vespa through Italian streets provides an authentic cultural experience impossible to achieve in cars or on foot. The wind carries scents of fresh bread, roasting coffee, and blooming flowers. You become part of the city's rhythm rather than observing it from behind glass. Every traffic light offers opportunities for friendly conversations with fellow riders.
Venice defies every law of physics and common sense. This impossible city rises from the Adriatic Sea like a fever dream, built on 118 tiny islands connected by 150 canals and 400 bridges. No cars exist here because there are literally no roads, only waterways and ancient stone walkways that wind through the city like a medieval maze. Getting around Venice feels like navigating a living fairy tale. Gondoliers in striped shirts pole their elegant black boats through narrow canals while singing traditional songs. Water taxis speed past carrying locals to work. The Vaporetto, Venice's version of a city bus, chugs along the Grand Canal, stopping at ornate palaces that have stood for centuries. Walking through Venice at dawn before the tourist crowds arrive reveals the city's true magic. Mist rises from the canals, church bells echo across empty piazzas, and you can almost hear the whispers of the merchants, artists, and adventurers who built this impossible dream in the middle of the sea. But Venice faces a terrifying reality. The city sinks approximately 2 millimeters every year into the soft mud beneath the lagoon. Scientists estimate that within 100 years, regular flooding could make large portions of Venice uninhabitable. Climate change and rising sea levels accelerate this process, creating a race against time to save one of humanity's most extraordinary achievements. Prepare to have your assumptions about adulthood completely shattered. In Italy, living with your parents until age 30 isn't just common, it's expected. Nearly 70% of Italian men between 25 and 34 still live in their childhood bedrooms, and society doesn't consider this remotely embarrassing. This phenomenon reflects profound cultural differences about family, independence, and success. While other cultures push children out of the nest at 18, Italians believe that la famiglia, the family, provides the strongest foundation for building a successful life. Why struggle alone when you can benefit from your parents' wisdom, cooking, and financial support while pursuing your dreams? Italian young adults living at home aren't freeloading teenagers. They work full-time jobs, maintain active social lives, travel internationally, and date seriously. They contribute to household expenses and help with family responsibilities. The difference is they do all this while enjoying their mother's legendary pasta and never worrying about rent. This arrangement offers practical benefits that explain its popularity. Italian real estate prices, especially in major cities, make independent living financially challenging for young professionals. University education takes longer in Italy, with many students pursuing advanced degrees well into their 20s. Living at home allows them to save money, invest in their careers, and enter the housing market when they are financially stable. Three-generation households create rich family dynamics that strengthen Italian society. Grandparents provide childcare wisdom and traditional cooking skills. Parents offer career guidance and emotional support. Young adults bring energy and modern perspectives. Everyone benefits from this interconnected support system. When Italian young adults finally do move out, they're typically better prepared for home ownership and serious relationships than their peers who struggled alone through their 20s. While the rest of the world drowns in digital notifications and social media addiction, Italy maintains a refreshing relationship with technology. Approximately 1/3 of Italians rarely use the internet, not because they lack access, but because they choose real-world experiences over virtual ones. This digital resistance reflects deeper Italian values about human connection and present-moment awareness. Many Italians, particularly older generations, prefer face-to-face conversations to text messages, physical newspapers to online articles, and actual phone calls to social media updates. They view constant connectivity as a distraction from life's authentic pleasures. In Italian villages and smaller cities, elderly residents gather in piazzas every evening for passionate discussions about politics, family, and local gossip. They play chess on worn wooden tables, watch children chase pigeons, and share stories that span decades. These communities thrive without Wi-Fi passwords or Instagram followers. This selective technology adoption creates fascinating generational dynamics. Young Italians use smartphones and social media extensively, but they still prioritize family dinners without devices, leisurely weekend conversations, and face-to-face relationship building. They've learned to balance digital convenience with analog authenticity. Italian businesses reflect this technology philosophy. Many restaurants don't accept online reservations, requiring customers to call or visit in person. Local shops operate without websites, relying on word-of-mouth recommendations and repeat customers. This approach may seem inefficient, but it preserves personal relationships that mass digitization destroys. When Italians created opera in the late 16th century, they invented an art form that would conquer the world and define musical sophistication for centuries. Italy didn't just birth opera, they perfected it, nurtured it, and turned it into a cultural weapon of mass seduction that still makes grown adults weep in darkened theaters. The Arena di Verona, a 2,000-year-old Roman amphitheater, hosts opera performances under starlit skies that leave audiences breathless. 20,000 spectators gather on ancient stone seats to witness productions that blend spectacular staging with world-class vocals. The acoustic perfection of this venue, designed millennia before modern sound engineering, demonstrates Roman architectural genius. Italian opera houses like La Scala in Milan and Teatro di San Carlo in Naples represent temples of musical worship where careers are made or destroyed with a single performance. What makes Italian opera unique isn't just technical excellence, but emotional authenticity. Italian composers like Verdi, Puccini, and Rossini understood that opera must touch the heart before impressing the mind. Their works explore universal themes of love, betrayal, sacrifice, and redemption with musical intensity that transcends language barriers. Modern Italy keeps opera accessible to ordinary citizens through subsidized tickets and outdoor performances. You can experience world-class opera in Italy for as little as $15 because Italians believe great art should inspire everyone, not just wealthy elites. This democratic approach to culture explains why opera remains vibrant in Italy while struggling elsewhere. Street musicians throughout Italy perform operatic pieces with casual brilliance that would astonish tourists. A vendor selling vegetables might possess a voice worthy of international stages, or a cafe worker might hum Puccini while preparing espresso. In Italy, musical excellence isn't confined to concert halls, but flows through daily life like a soundtrack to existence. We are so glad you are with us today. Please leave a comment, like the video to support us, and subscribe for more videos. See you soon.